Alright, here is round 3, the finals. Playing against Puppy Father. I think that I'm gonna mulligan this. It's got some strong cards, but just like to hit lands. Keep this. My opponent is also on 6 cards. They're thinking pretty hard about this mold 5. I'll keep that on top. We are on the draw, and there's a good chance that sometime in the next 3 or 4 turns we hit another land, and that card is just super strong. I'm against another white deck. Unruly Mob. Oh, my Moorland Drifter. I think I'll play the Moorland Drifter. It faces down that Unruly Mob quite well. Although if he attacks, I may not block. Well, if he attacks now, I'm definitely blocking, but I don't think that's happening. Go ahead and play out my Veteran Cathar here. And if I hit a land, I can swing in with the Cathar, threaten to give it double strike. And if he chooses to block, I can actually give it double strike and just start dealing with those creatures, or I can just play near hit Chaplain second main. Giving this thing double strike is going to be sweet. For sure. I think I'm happy trading the Drifter for this. Like, again, the corner case of us getting Odric and having that thing also have flying due to Delirium is a small one. Bound by Moonsilver. Alright, does it say activated abilities? No. It does not. Interesting. He could have done that before and either forced me to block with the Cathar or the Drifter. But this makes my choice easy. I can just play the Chaplain. And the next turn I can double strike this thing up and gain a million life. Lifelink is sweet in this format. Right. No, don't have spells. And so I can, yeah, he figured it out. I don't think I'm going to give double strike here. I think I'm just gonna do the 3 and then I can play my Wolf, my Vessel, and hold up Confront if I need it. I mean, there's a possibility that he's playing Dual Shot. So, being able to just save my dude is always nice. Plus, just filling out my board seems better at this point. Breakneck Rider, you got it. Ooh. We'll jam with the Chaplain again. See what happens. Let's crack the Vessel. See if we hit a land or something else equally sweet. Ooh, bound by Moonsilver. Could take an inspector and get some more clues, but I think that I'll just take the bound by Moonsilver here. Just seems much better to deal with whatever I need it to deal with. Like a breakneck rider. You have a clue, sir. Sure. I might take some damage here from the neckbreaker, but if he attacks with the unruly mob, I'm certainly blocking with the cold wolf. I mean, I could spend 2 combat tricks on my wolf to both save the wolf and kill the neckbreaker, but considering I've got the bound by Moonsilver in hand, that doesn't really seem worth it. Plus my opponent just doesn't seem thrilled to do that anyway. Okay. We'll attack with the chaplain again. At some point he's got a block, right? He's probably going to with the inspector. Yeah. So I think here I'm just going to confront, and then I can play out my bound by Moonsilver. Something more scary comes along, I can always reattach it to something. But the breakneck rider is pretty annoying. Card is gas. Bygone bishop. That is probably going to draw him a couple cards over the course of the game, for however much longer this lasts. Sure, you got it. Makes sense. Crack my clue, see what I draw. Alright. And then I think I'll just play my logger. And then next turn I can either start beating with my wolf or attack with my logger and maybe get something with the strength of arms. And I can give it double strike, which is always nice. Opponent just never turning things sideways. So this sucks because now my guy doesn't have double strike. How unlucky. So I think that now that I've got 7 lands, I'm gonna jam with the wolf, and then if he goes to double block, I can kill both of his things. If he triple blocks, I can kill all 3 of his things at the cost of my own wolf. We'll just pump. And his unruly mob is getting quite unruly. We'll do this thing again. gonna turn this into an 8/8. And pass the turn. And next turn I actually may sack something to move the moon silver over. Just because then I can attack with this guy with relative. So let's we're gonna pump our wolf at some point anyway. So let's do this, sacrifice that, and then we can come in with well, I mean, we could come in with everything. I think I'm just gonna come in with the wolf and the timber shredder. You know, worst case scenario, he blocks this on one of these two guys, and then breakneck rider here, and then we strength of arms our veteran Cathar. But I don't really feel inclined to use our combat trick at this particular moment. When this puts plenty of pressure on as it stands. And second mana, play our planes and pass the turn. I'm infinitely curious as to what my opponent is playing the blue mana for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can't yet do both of these things, even if we draw land, sadly. This is the thing. I could sack the chaplain. I could sack the chaplain to zap like the neck breaker or something, or to zap the enchantment. I could sack a land and then threaten to give this thing double strike, which seems like the most fun thing to do. Attacking with a wolf every turn is just, you know, it's boring. So we'll purge this thing. Sacrifice a land. And then we'll bash with the chaplain and the timber shredder. I do have enough to pump and do the double strike if I so desire. Which I think I do desire. Again, for some damage, just wipe his board. Seems great. Gain 1,000,000 life. Ice Evangel, that is a good card. I do enjoy it very much. And the Inspiring Captain is good. I'm gonna lose my chaplain here, but also my opponent's just dead, so oops. Unless they've got a shenanigan. No shenanigans. Alright. Boarding for red-white. I mean, we could bring in the root out to get rid of. I mean, we saw a Wicker Witch. He probably has some sort of equipment, although we didn't see it. He has the Bound by Moonsilver, which is annoying, but you know, not the end of the world considering to play a bunch of 2-drops and very few high-costed creatures. Intrepid Provisioner might be okay against him, just because it can make a dude bigger, but I don't think I need it. It does have some X2, so I can bring in a Gloom Widow to attack past them, but again, I don't think that's really necessary. What to do? I don't really feel like bringing in a Wicker Witch just because with the red deck, he's already seen some X1s, so he might be inclined to bring in Dual Shot, and anything I can do to make that card less good would be the best. I'm going to keep it as is, and you know, if I see more of his deck and see that root out might be relevant, then maybe I'll bring it in, but I think it's unlikely unless I see multiple Bound by Moonsilvers or something. Alright, well, this hand is great. Turn 1 Vessel, turn 2 Fork in the Road, or a Vessel. You know, if I continue drawing lands, then I don't necessarily need to play this, but my opponent on a mole to 5. Pondering the mole to 4. See, this is how I plan to always win games of Magic, is just have my opponent mulligan into Oblivion and get super unlucky. It seems to work well. It's off to a fine start this game though, even with the mulligan. Play out our Logger, just because I can Fork in the Road next turn and then play the land, should I so desire. It is getting aggressive. Sure. Alright, so I'll go ahead and Fork in the Road, and then I can play my land. I mean, other options are to bind something, but that's just not as good, and it means that I can hit Odric next turn for sure. I mean, alternatively, I could pass turn, let this flip, and then Vessel for another land. Which might be fine, especially because then I've got a Trampler on the board. I could get this Vessel out there and just wait until I hit the Odric, and then all my stuff just flies everywhere. Decisions. I think I'm going to go ahead and just play this Vessel. Grand scheme of things, getting some flyers out there seems like a good course of action considering I've got Odric in hand. It'll give me something to do with my mana at some point too. I just want to sit back on it as my opponent pecks me to death with, oh, what is going on here? Green. We didn't see green get last game, did we? I think we saw. We didn't see any blue cards and we didn't see any green cards. Alright. I think I'll fork in the road for plains, and then I can play my Moorland Drifter. Go ahead and get the second plains into the yard, plains, and Moorland Drifter, and then we'll pass the turn. Double-Thorn Fox is fine. I get a clue. I wonder if maybe he's playing like Confront the Unknown or something since he's got the Bygone Bishop. That would be tricky. That would be tricky. So here I can crack both my vessels and let my logger flip, which gives all my guys flying next turn if I play Odric next turn. It also sets me up to make sure I hit my land drop in case I want to Odric and then Rabid Bite. So I think that I like just sitting back and doing nothing, as sad as that is. I'd love to have my lifelinker. Bound. Sure. That's fine. That is fine. And if my opponent attacks with the Double-Thorn Fox, I'll block with one of the spirits. Taking 5, going to 10. Yeah, that's fine. I am having some issues here keeping up. So we'll have to correct that at some point, but hopefully this next turn gets us back in the game. Ooh, so I can take a land and make sure that I hit my Odric Rabid Bite plan, or I can take an Inspiring Captain for later. I think I'll take the Inspiring Captain. I could always just bind something and Rabid Bite something next turn if I really want to, although I don't really particularly want to. I think I'll just take the threat. And of course we draw a 6-drop. Why wouldn't we? So we'll bind that thing. Fun fact, I can sacrifice my guy to move this on to something else, which maybe is not a terrible idea. It's not a particularly good idea, but we'll pass the turn. I don't think there's reason to Rabid Bite anything there. I'd much rather wait until he plays something that's actually threatening. This is a good reason to bring in Root Out. It's certainly a good reason to bring in Root Out. That combined with the fact that he's got the Bound by Moonsilver. What's he making an indestructible? Sure. You have an indestructible fox. Congrats. I can just take it. Go to 5. Okay, so I could play the Toppelgeist and then bite that thing just so that it's less annoying. I can start going into chump block mode if I need to. Depending on if he's got more spells. I don't know that I necessarily need to, but it's an option that I have. Okay. And we'll Rabid Bite. And I think I'll just pass turn. You can get aggressive and attack with a spirit or two, but there's no real reason to at this point. My opponent's been beating the heck out of us with their 3 lands. Yeah, this card is like infinitely annoying. I mean, maybe since it's a 1-of, we don't really play around it, but I mean, I've just lost games to like a stupid Devil Thorn Fox getting indestructible every turn and bashing away into my 2/2s. Just feels bad, man. Feels bad. Lightning Axe. Sure. You got my Geist. Playing white, red, green, blue clues of fleeting memories. So this is an interesting deck, that is for sure. I'm just gonna take the 2. It puts me into Fiery Temper range, which is unfortunate, but now I just get to play a big dude and sit back and block all day long. I think I'm gonna peck. No, I will not peck, just in case he's got a removal spell. I could still double block that thing if I really feel so inclined to do so. My opponent's gotta start hitting lands. Yeah, there we go. Gotta start hitting lands at some point. He's seen about 1 billion cards out of his deck. Let's see, what punishes me the worst here? I mean, even Game Machine's got Uncaged Fury. Oh, jeez. Alright. That's a card. That is a card. Yep. Making something indestructible. I mean, next turn I will be able to Odric, and then I don't necessarily need to even Odric. I could, yeah, I'll probably Odric and then maybe bash in with my Moorland Drifter and just take out Arlinn Kord. There's no reason to do anything with my swine at this point. Or sorry, I should say play my Inspiring Captain and bash in with my Drifter. Leave my spirits back to do some jump blocking if I need to. We can play our Cold Wolf and pass the turn. And then next turn we've got 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage. in the air, so not nearly enough to kill him in a single swing, sadly. However, I can play Odric and start swinging with my P and put him on a 4-turn clock. Seems alright. We'll play our wolf main phase. Give it the flying trample buff. Flample. My opponent doesn't even have enough for Humble the Brute here, so... now next turn I do... let's see, if he moves this over here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, and I have enough to pump one of my wolves, so next turn, even if he moves the bound over here, I still have enough, and my opponent has packed it in. That was, I should have lost that game. My opponent got ridiculously mana screwed. My opponent, however, is choosing to play a 4-color deck with Arlinn Kords and Fleeting Memories and Nahiri's Machinations. This is quite a brew they've concocted here. I'd be really curious to see the rest of their deck, because there must have been some really compelling reason to go into 4 colors. Maybe they got a Jace as well. Ooh. I can't imagine that Fleeting Memories is the thing that drove them to splash blue. I can certainly see splashing green in a white-green or a white-red deck for Arlinn Kord. But yeah, this one is eluding me as to why they would have Fleeting Memories unless they've just got a bajillion Confront the Unknowns. I do play Paper Magic. I don't get to play very often anymore. Well, I think I am going to pack it in. Call it a night.